Look, he looked like a little black Yoda.
Well, then why are you gonna stay?
I'm 5, you dork.
Wait, wasn't that kid just in diapers like 5 episodes ago? In the weird world of TV time, some kids don't grow up, they leave over summer break. Today we're counting down 8 TV characters who aged faster than logic, or biology for that matter, should allow. And number 9 aging was. Be sure to like and subscribe because it really does help the channel. Now let's get into the countdown. Number 8, Andy Keaton, Family Ties. Of course we expect this with soap operas, where kids age like bananas and nobody blinks, but SORAS wasn't limited to daytime drama. In the world of primetime sitcoms, the time jumps were sneakier and often way funnier.
Who's that?
Alex.
Who is Alex?
Alex is king.
In Family Ties, which ran from 1982 to 1989, the Keatons were a sitcom dream team. 2 ex-hippies raising a teenage Reaganite in the heart of suburban Ohio. Family Ties thrived on generational whiplash, with Michael J. Fox's Alex P. Keaton turning ambition and capitalism into punchlines.
Hi. Sorry I had to answer the door myself. Our butler's off tonight.
By season 3, the writers pulled a classic sitcom move, a surprise baby with a chaotic birth arc.
You're doing fine, Elise.
Thank you, Stephen. I'm so glad you're here.
Oh, me too.
Wouldn't seem right having the baby without you.
Oh, it wouldn't have felt right to me if you weren't here.
Enter Andy Keaton, born into a household that already had its rhythm, and because this was the 80s, he wasn't just there for cuteness, he was a setup for the ultimate sitcom glow-up.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Why not?
It's not your man.
By season 4, he was aged slightly and played by the Merriman twins. Then in season 5, boom, he appeared as a talking kindergartner, now played by Brian Bonsall.
Who's that?
Alex.
Who is Alex?
Alex is king.
He wasn't just walking and talking, he was quoting Milton Friedman. The kid skipped peekaboo and went straight to tax policy. Andy wasn't just aged up, he was weaponized. Within a few episodes, he became a tiny conservative prodigy, basically Alex's ideological clone. The show didn't even bother explaining the time jump. One season he's in diapers, the next he's debating trickle-down economics.
May change, but for now.
Alex is king.
And honestly, it worked. Andy's rapid aging gave the writers a fresh dynamic to play with, especially as Michael J. Fox's star kept skyrocketing. Plus, let's be real, it's a lot easier to write jokes for a kid with punchlines than a baby who just cries on cue. In the end, Andy Keaton might be the poster child for sitcom SORAS. He aged 5 years over one summer hiatus and somehow picked up a political science degree along the way. The only thing faster than his character development was Michael J. Fox's career after Back to the Future hit theaters. Number 7, Chrissy Seaver, Growing Pains.
Chrissy, what are you doing?
I'm making dinner for Mike, Eddie, and their babes.
Growing Pains aired from 1985 to 1992, and by the time it hit season 4, the show was entering sitcom danger zone territory. Still airing, but clearly aging, so the writers pulled the classic move. Add a cute kid and hope for the best. But they didn't just want a baby, they wanted a ratings boost in diapers.
Chrissy, what makes you think someone's in trouble?
Daddy told me how happy he was. I was a clean slate.
Chrissy was born in season 4 during one of those very special episodes, complete with heartfelt conversations about late-in-life pregnancy and what it meant for the Seavers. It was surprisingly serious for a show that usually solved its problems with a hug and a sarcastic Mike Seaver one-liner.
Have a meal.
Sorry, Mom, no time. I got tons of work to do on my place. And believe me, you guys will not be disappointed. I am taking to independence like Carol takes to food.
Well, 2 years later, we're in season 6, and suddenly Chrissy wasn't a baby anymore. She was a fully verbal 5-year-old in a rainbow scrunchie played by Ashley Johnson, armed with sass, punchlines, and a wardrobe straight out of the Oshkosh Sass collection.
Oh, whoa, Chrissy, I can hear you all the way downstairs. What are you doing?
It was Ike's idea.
Oh, yeah, Mom told me about Ike.
This wasn't just aging up. This was sitcom warp speed. Chrissy skipped crawling, teething, and whatever happened in season 5 and graduated straight into comic relief without missing a beat. It wasn't subtle, but it was strategic. Ben and Carol were too old for cuteness, too young for nostalgia, and so the writers hit fast forward on Chrissy like they were holding down the skip button. No one explained it because no one even tried. One season she's in a crib, the next she's roasting her dad's fashion choices. But honestly, viewers didn't care because Ashley Johnson nailed every line like a pint-sized pro.
I still can't believe that I was the only 5-year-old to see Frosty the Snowman as a metaphor for death.
I'll wait for Mike.
So yeah, Chrissy's rapid aging broke the rules of time and biology, but in return she gave us a fan-favorite sitcom kid with actual punch, and in the world of growing pains, that trade-off made perfect sense. Number 6, Victoria Newman, The Young and the Restless.
Best for me? Best for Ashley? No, best for Victoria, isn't that right?
Best for my family.
Now, you know we can't talk about SORAS without talking soap operas. Daytime soaps practically invented SORAS, but The Young and the Restless, on the air since 1973, made it a competitive sport. While primetime shows were fumbling with child actors, Y&R was skipping puberty like it was a commercial break. Take Victoria Newman, for example, daughter of on-again, off-again power couple Victor and Nicky. Born on screen in 1982, she spent most of the 80s as a quiet background kid.
Everything to me. You and Victoria, you're my family.
Cute? Yes. Crucial? Not really, unless someone needed a custody battle or a prop in a family meltdown.
You act like I'm so sinister. Like I'm so despicable.
But by 1990, Y&R hit fast forward. Victoria re-emerged as a full-blown teenager, now played by Heather Tom, sporting power blazers, teenage rage, and a suspicious understanding of hostile takeovers.
I'm not exactly sure what you're accusing me.
Damn it! I know! Don't you understand?
She didn't just age up, she leveled up. One week she's off screen playing with dolls. The next she's filing quarterly reports and locking lips with unsuitable men.
This is really nice.
I think so too.
Even by soap standards, the shift was wild, but it worked. Victoria slid into Genoa City's power games like she was born to scheme. And here's the thing. It wasn't just a recast, it was a full character reboot. Heather Tom didn't play teenage Victoria like a new face, she played her like a Newman. Sharp, strategic, and kind of terrifying.
Tell me you didn't do it.
Sweetheart,
Tell me.
I did what I had to help you.
It was less coming of age and more corporate initiation. Critics joked she aged 10 years over summer break, but nobody really cared. The performance sold it, and suddenly Victoria wasn't background noise, she was a central player.
Friend, I trusted you. I opened my heart up to you. I even thought that I might be in love with you.
Victoria Newman is a textbook case of SORAS done right. Take an underused kid, jumpstart their career arc, and plug them straight into the family dynasty. In Genoa City, childhood isn't something you live through, it's something you skip so you can start running the company. Number 5, Nick Newman, The Young and the Restless.
Phyllis, honestly, it's not a good time.
Why? Why? Are you here with that friend of yours?
You don't know what you're talking about.
The Young and the Restless had SORAS down to a science, and they proved it again with Victoria's younger brother, Nick Newman. If her aging was impressive, Nick's transformation showed that the Newman family practically had a genetic time machine.
You know, you never talk much about those times.
Before I became an overnight success.
Born on screen on New Year's Eve 1988, Nick started off played by infant twins Marco and Stefan Flores, then by child actors Griffin Ledner and John Alden. Like most soap kids, he spent his early years as living set dressing, popping up for family scenes, holiday episodes, and the occasional heartfelt hug. But by June 1994, just 6 years later, Nick returned from boarding school as a fully grown 16-year-old, now played by Joshua Morrow. Seriously, what kind of boarding school is this? That transformation was so abrupt, viewers had to wonder if his school specialized in puberty on demand. This wasn't just a creative decision, it was a calculated move.
And appreciated the way you deserve. I want to be the guy who was with you when amazing things happened and...
By aging up Nick, the show shut down any need to introduce a new teen heir to Victor's empire. They already had one, all it took was a time jump and a conveniently vague backstory. And the move worked. Nick skipped the awkward years and jumped straight into steamy romances, starting with Sharon Collins. From there, he went full soap mode. Love triangles, family feuds, moral crises. The writers didn't ease him in, they dropped him into the deep end and handed him the script. What's even more impressive is Joshua Morrow has now played Nick for over 30 years. What began as a fast-forward shortcut turned into one of the longest-running casting wins in daytime TV history. Nick's transformation proved Victoria's SORAS wasn't a one-off, it was a Newman family tradition. Take a cute kid, age them into a brooding teen, and boom, 3 decades of drama delivered daily. Now, if you're loving this wild ride through TV's fastest growing kids, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow, and let's be honest, it's way easier than trying to explain how a baby turned into a teenager over summer break. Also, let us know in the comments which TV kid's sudden growth spurt left you doing a double take. We read them all, even the ones that claim we're the reason you can't get the Family Ties theme song out of your head. Number 4, Morgan Matthews, Boy Meets World.
This is Eric. His real name is Larry. He's my best friend Barbie's brother. But around us, he's Eric.
Come on, Daddy.
Boy Meets World ran from 1993 to 2000, and when it came to aging characters, it didn't always play by the rules. No example was more obvious or more hilarious than Morgan Matthews.
Yes, I'm stuck here and I can't get down. My parents are outside fighting. Listen.
Corey's little sister, played by Lily Nixay, started off as the classic precocious sitcom sibling. She'd pop in, drop a zinger, maybe annoy Corey a little, and then vanish again.
If my dolly is cold, can I put her in the toaster oven?
That is, until she vanished for real for the first 13 episodes of season 3. Then, in episode 14, Morgan reappeared with a new face, a different voice, and about 3 years of sitcom maturity. Now played by Lindsay Ridgeway, she walked back into the kitchen like nothing had happened, except the writers knew exactly what they were doing. That line was a total meta moment. The show didn't just soar as Morgan, it called itself out in the process. Morgan's return wasn't just a recast, it was a wink. Boy Meets World didn't pretend nothing changed, it leaned in, and by breaking the fourth wall just enough, it turned a textbook continuity glitch into one of the show's most memorable gags. Number 3, Christopher Ewing, Dallas. Daytime soaps might have been the SORAS champions, but primetime dipped its toe in too, just with a little more restraint. Dallas, which ran from 1978 to 1991, didn't age its kids into adults overnight, but it definitely bent the timeline when it suited the plot. In Christopher Ewing's case, the growth wasn't extreme, but it was noticeable. He was the adopted son of Bobby and Pam Ewing and heir to a dynasty of corporate sabotage, family betrayal, and 10-gallon hat melodrama. He was born right in the middle of peak Dallas chaos. His mother was Kristen Shepard, Sue Ellen's sister, and the woman who infamously shot JR. Not long after, Kristen was found floating in the South Fork pool. It screamed murder, but in true Dallas fashion, the truth was messier. A drug overdose, a fall, and a scandal that left everyone pointing fingers anyway. Bobby and Pam adopted Kristen's baby before anyone even knew who the father was. For a while, JR thought he might be the dad, but it was eventually revealed the baby belonged to Kristen and a man named Jeff Faraday.
You tried to blackmail me with a child you thought was your own. You're a scum.
At first, Christopher was just soap scenery, cute, quiet, and mostly there to get passed around during dramatic monologues. But by 1985, just 4 years after his on-screen birth, he was a fully verbal kid with a sensitive streak and a front row seat to the Ewing family's mess.
Well, I just wondered if he went to the hospital and I was born too.
Played by Joshua Harris, Christopher wasn't the fastest SORAS case on this list, but for a show that sometimes took 5 episodes to finish a phone call, his growth spurt still felt like warp speed. His character arc eventually laid the foundation for the TNT reboot, where he returned as an adult played by Jesse Metcalfe. But that aging, that was just the normal passage of time. The real shortcut happened in the 80s when little Christopher quietly skipped a few key chapters. No montage required. Number 2, Nicky Banks, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Mom, how old are you?
Younger than your father.
The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which ran from 1990 to 1996, was never afraid to break sitcom rules. It tackled real-life issues, dropped tearjerkers, and shattered the fourth wall, all with swagger. But even in a show full of surprises, nothing was quite as jarring or hilarious as what they did to baby Nicky.
Hello to your new son.
Born at the end of season 3, Nicky was the Banks family's newest addition. Your standard sitcom infant, cute, quiet, and mostly used for diaper jokes and reaction shots. He popped up a few times in season 4, but mostly just sat there looking cute and chewing scenery, literally. Then came season 5, and boom! Nicky returned as a fully formed preschooler, now played by Bagley, talking, wisecracking, and rocking that kid who knows he's cute energy. And when toddler Nicky made his debut, Will straight up stared into the camera like even he couldn't believe it. Iconic. The show didn't just acknowledge the SORAS jump, it owned it.
Mommy and Daddy won't let me watch Bad Boys.
Bad boys, huh? What you gonna do?
And this wasn't just a recast, it was a reboot. Baby Nicky had 0 lines, and 5-year-old Nicky delivered zingers and held his own with Will Smith like it was nothing. One minute he was background noise, and the next he was part of the main cast chaos. It was one of the boldest SORAS moves of the decade, and one of the only ones where the audience was in on the joke from day one. Number 1, they fast-tracked it. Do you have a favorite TV time jump that we missed? Let us know in the comment section below, and hey, be sure to like, subscribe, and remember, in TV land, childhood isn't something you live through, it's something the writers skip through. And thanks for watching.